Yeah.
Some weird stuff going on with Oculus in terms of like software validation.
Yes.
Which seems to not have settled yet. So I didn't pull the story out yet because it seemed like it was still kind of up in the air. But in terms of like disallowing other headsets to run stuff bought from their store and stuff like that,
what they had, there was someone had come up with this program called Revive, which lets Oculus Home stuff run on a Vive. It injects into Unreal Engine and I guess Unity as well, but it didn't work with every game and all that sort of stuff. But they basically were like mapping the Oculus stuff over to where you could play those games on a Vive. You still had to buy the games from Oculus, which I guess Lucky's Tale ended up being free no matter what because it was just free in their store, so there was that. But generally speaking, you could download the thing, create an account, and if you had a Vive, still play some of those games that are only available in the Oculus store. Oculus pushed out 1.4, I believe, is the software revision, and there's a new firmware revision for the headset and sensor with that as well. We got it last week before we recorded that, Verodio. And as it turns out, that has more explicit checking for an Oculus headset in it to kind of prevent people from doing the thing that Revive has been allowing them to do. Yeah. And it was straight up a DRM style solution where like if you had everything still worked as long as you also had a Rift plugged into the PC. You could still play the stuff on a Vive, but it was explicitly looking for a real Rift.
So you have to own both headsets?
So as it turns out, no.
Okay.
Because what the person who made Revive went and did is bypass all of those checks. And all of those checks include checking to see if you actually own the game.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Because, you know, like the post that goes along with this update from the guy is like, this is the last thing I wanted to do, but I don't see any other way to do this.
Jeez.
So please don't pirate these games.
Shit. But I can't stop you.
But also this thing totally, yes.
Man, this got ugly.
So I don't know that there's been any comment from Oculus on this stuff.
I did see a comment that they basically characterized this as like they framed it as like, you know, we're trying to prevent hacks and other like illicit modifications, and that this was just kind of a blanket solution for that.
Yeah. It's, you know, if you look at what they've been saying all along, it's been very much like, oh, well, it's not necessarily like we want all VR to succeed, but a lot of that's been Palmer.
Yeah.
Who you may have noticed, unless maybe this was his comment or something like that. But last time I looked,
that came from their PR.
Okay, last time I looked, he had not posted to Reddit in about 25 days.
Okay,
which to me says someone like got a hold of him and said, "Hey, fucking stop." And I don't know that for sure, but that's my guess.
Yeah.
And so to have like that to have him be weirdly silent. To have the shipping stuff kind of continue to be this shipping stuff weird situation, and then to lock out people that don't own an Oculus headset is a real bad look.
Yeah.
But I also suspect that it does probably have a little bit more to do with them just kind of building up their stuff.
Yeah, it's trying to button up things rather than...
And less about explicitly denying people that access.
Yeah.
But
they're still making money on games they sell to Vive.
Right, yeah.
Unless those owners are no longer buying games.
And now that's a weird reality with this. And you saw people, you know, like you go on and see people kind of commenting about this stuff when it got locked out. And, you know, it's stuff where they're like, my kid doesn't understand why we can't watch Henry. We need to fix this. And, which I was like, well, you're using this fucking bootsy ass weird thing to show this to your kid in the first place. You should know the score. Yeah. That you're doing something weird in the first place. But anyway, it's shitty. Yeah. This is fucking shitty.
Yeah.
And I wonder how it'll end up going if this is something that Oculus kind of does open up on, because their stated position is that they want to be open about it.
Yeah.
So
definitely
they should probably fix this.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more growing pains than I expected.
Yeah, man.
Stuff like it's. Oof.
You'd think that. Yeah, it's and I don't know. I guess like that. There you go. Like Facebook's not a hardware company, huh?
Yeah. Yes.
It shows.
Yes.
It
clearly.
absolutely shows.
Like at this point, I almost feel like those companies need the PlayStation VR to come out and be really successful to like cement this thing in the public consciousness.
Kind of, yeah. Or, you know, this Google Daydream, Android N stuff, or, you know, Gear VR, obviously. You know, like the mobile VR stuff seems like it's progressing faster.
Yeah, I guess too many companies seem too committed for VR to just die on the vine, but it's been pretty rocky so far.
And I think the way it's going, like you see the sentiment around a lot of the stuff, people that pre-ordered both headsets and a lot of stuff like that. It's really, you feel like the weight is shifting further and further in favor of the Vive. Mm-hmm. Which, like maybe this should have been obvious out of the gate, but like the people that are early adopters are all the way crazy. So they're the ones that are going to be willing to devote like a large room in their house to VR and all this other stuff. And that's where you look at the Rift as it stands right now, and you go like, it's not that.
Yeah.
Like it feels
very limited.
It's not that. It is limited compared to the Vive.
Yeah, totally.
And they've got their own controllers and all this other stuff, but they can't even get the headsets in people's hands. Like, you notice they haven't necessarily been out there talking up their touch controllers much lately.
Yeah. Right.
And I want to see I guess maybe they had some of that stuff at PAX. They might have been showing touch controllers at PAX now that I think about it, but like they probably need to start moving forward on that. But also they tried to ship headsets to Best Buy, and those locations got 5 fucking headsets that all sold out immediately. Really, and they're still trying to fulfill all their day one pre-orders or like all their pre-orders, I guess I should say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's 5 years from now, who's going to care? But like right now, you look at it and go, "This is super fucked."
Yeah,
like this is not going well.
Yeah.
And some of the games are still pretty bad. Even hey, a lot of the Vive games are fucking terrible.
Yes,
there are a lot of bad games that are up on Steam because it's Steam and you can do that. Whereas like on some level, I guess maybe it's nice that Oculus at least tries to curate a little bit. But
yeah.
But that just leads to me opening Oculus Home and go like, nope, nothing new. Fuck this. Yeah. All right. And whereas I look at Steam and go like, there's 5 new things here. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think there's been like 4 or 5. Maybe there's been a little bit more than that. But the trickle of things being added to the Oculus storefront is just that. It's a trickle.
Yeah. Well, Oculus will be at E3. So
yeah,
and Fritos.
Yes, so you can eat some Fritos while you. Yep.
Smear your greasy Frito hands on the lenses of the Oculus.
Yeah. You just pour some Monster Energy drink in the glasses part.
And
rinse it off.
And then go to the Twitch booth to film your Loot Crate unboxing.
Yeah.
Drew.
Yeah.
What if I told you that part of Halo 5 is coming to the PC?